Hi guys, today we're looking at the BenQ Mobiuz EX2710U, an amazing 4K 144Hz monitor that's great for gaming, watching movies in max quality, and especially good for home office purposes. So this monitor is awesome firstly because it supports HDMI 2.1 and DisplayPorts 1.4, making it work at full 120 FPS for PS5 and Xbox Series X console players, as well as 144 FPS for PC players. This together with the 1 millisecond response times and the AMD FreeSync Premium Pro, your gaming experience is going to get elevated many times over, and you will also have protection from monitor tearing, lag, and blur. It comes with 2.1 channel true sound speakers together with a built-in noise-cancelling microphone. All details and buy links can be found in the description below. Now let's take a closer look at the monitor and its specs and see if it's good for gaming, video editing, movies, and productivity. But first, what comes in the box? The parts in the box are very neat, well packed, and easy to get to. On the top layer you have a quick instruction manual, energy label, and service information, as well as all the core secondary parts, like a high quality HDMI 2.1, DP 1.4, USB to USB-B cables, a power supply, and 2 power cables for USA and UK use. You get the legs, the main body, and underneath in a protected design you get the screen. Putting it together takes around 2 minutes. Just screw the legs to the base, then attach the base directly to the monitor while it's in the packaging. The legs are cool gray-red combo with soft rubber protection pads at the bottom corners to prevent scratching. Then moving up to the base, you see this glorious hall that has not only a purpose of improving aesthetics, but also cable management. All your cables go from your monitor down through this gap under your table, helping maintain a no-cable desk space. Keep in mind that you can use a monitor mount or wall mount for the EX2710U. It weighs around 15 pounds without the base. Taking a closer look to the actual monitor, you have an almost 3-side bezel-less frame with a cool bottom bezel, showing you the BenQ logo, and the HDMI where you can quickly adjust what mode you want. Right underneath you have 4 buttons to adjust monitor settings. First is power on and off, with a cool LED light to help you find it in the dark. The second button does most of the job of navigating through your monitor operating system to adjust modes, brightness, contrast, mic, speaker, and much more. Then the third button is for switching display, and finally the last is for turning the mic on and off. When off, you get a red light here, when on it goes green. The back also has a simple yet slick white design that pops really well thanks to the 4 corner LED strips. These strips provide you with a nice range of RGB lighting colors and options that any gamer would like to have. Here are all the ports on the monitor, including power input, 2 HDMI 2.1 slots, 1 DP 1.4 slot, a headphone jack, a USB-B port, and 4 USB 3.0 ports. Overall, the monitor is really stable and adjustable but to a limiting degree. You can go up and down in height around 10 centimeters, which is a little on the low side. It swivels 15 degrees each side, which is great, and tilts from -5 degrees downwards to 15 degrees upwards. Sadly, the monitor does not rotate, just a couple degrees each side. All these minor issues can be solved with a mount, but then you lose the cool base. Okay, we know the specs, but what about the quality? Is this monitor actually as good as it claims? Well, aspect ratio is at 16:9, which is the standard, but picture quality at 3840 by 2160 is very sharp. Changing from the G7 1440 monitor to this one, I can clearly see how much smoother the graphics look in-game, especially around the edges and corners of structures and characters. I went from seeing this to this. But these days, 4K alone isn't enough to make a monitor stand out. What about color grades? How does this monitor compete with other monitors? Well, this is where this monitor stands out. It has a 1000:1 color ratio, HDR600, and a color depth of 1.0 billion colors. The HDR600 refers to nits, which is an indicator of how much brightness you get, which also means that with more nits you can play darker scenes with more clarity. All this makes it especially great for watching movies and videos. Another thing to note is most monitors start facing problems when gaming in HDR mode. But that's not the case with this monitor. You don't get any tearing or stuttering even if you keep HDR mode on in games. Keep in mind, if you're playing fast action games, normally reducing contrast a bit helps you see objects and enemies faster and more clearly. That's when you can use the FPS mode on the monitor and lose the HDR. All in all, when combining the 4K 144Hz and 1 millisecond with FreeSync, your aim is going to get around 22% better. The BenQ UX uses an IPS panel. Normally this means you have a small reduction in contrast, more specifically in black levels, but I haven't been able to see the difference on this monitor. It looks pretty darn black to me. Viewing angles on this monitor are quite good at 178 degrees. This is how the monitor handles extreme brightness. And this is how it handles extreme darkness. Overall, I'm pretty impressed by its capabilities. After playing some Fortnite, Apex Legends, Valorant, and Overwatch, quality looks beautiful and crisp clean. I can clearly see the 4K improvement. The fast responses reduced blurring effects on the screen and gave a silky smooth movement for a much more accurate gameplay experience. Keep in mind that in these games, playing 4K takes a hit on your FPS. I'm using the RTX 2070 Super and have to run games at medium settings 4K to achieve over 100 FPS. So if you're looking to play games at maximum settings 4K and achieve over 100 FPS, you might have to upgrade your GPU. Xbox and PS5 will also be able to play these games at 4K 100 FPS at medium settings. If you want to know what GPUs you need to run 4K 144Hz, then make sure to mention it in the comments below. I'll make sure to make a video about it if enough of you are interested. Another thing to take note of is that 4K doesn't just depend on your GPU, but also on your internet. 4K requires a lot more data when running movies and streaming, but also when gaming. As long as you have above 25 megabytes per second, you should be fine. I also tried it out with CSGO and Dota 2. With these less demanding games, you can get away with high quality, high FPS easily. And finally, on Shadow of the Tomb Raider, playing the game for picture quality, I get very awesome imaging with no stuttering but low FPS. If you're trying to have a clean desk setup and don't want too much clutter, this option will help you with that. With a built-in mic and speaker, you basically only need a keyboard and mouse on your desk. But are they any good? The speaker is placed around the monitor in a way to help it provide a surround sound-like system. Overall, music quality is not going to be as good as headphones or speakers, but it gets the job done if you're just casually watching something online. If gaming, you will most likely need a set of headphones. However, for the mic, its quality is more than enough for gaming and other purposes. If you just want to talk to your friends or whoever's in the lobby with you, then this microphone will do great, even for Zoom calls. It is very clear and has an adjustable noise cancelling feature. Here is an example of me talking with the monitor mic. You can't compare this with a professional mic, but it does really well. And there are 5 speaker modes to choose from. Another area where 4K HDR600 shows its strengths is in productivity work, whether it's video editing, photo editing, or general video watching. I found the monitor to make me more motivated to continue working and enjoying all vibrant colors. Here are the color modes available on the monitor. And finally, let's talk about some small last details. BenQ gaming monitors are ready for G-Sync due to universal support for VESA adaptive sync. There is an HDR mode called HDRI that auto-optimizes image color, detail, and clarity based on the scene, and a black equalizer that tries to reclaim details from improperly displayed dark sections. One very impressive feat this monitor tries to achieve is help with eye safety and eye strain. You have options to control blue light, options to go black and white mode for reading, and modes that auto-adjust brightness based on your room. It comes in 27 inches and 32 inches. You pay an extra 100 for 5 more inches, which is reasonable. The screen has anti-glare coating, which isn't perfect, but more than enough. But the biggest downfall of this monitor is that it uses a lot of energy, as expected from a 4K monitor. Normal consumption is at 48 watts and max is at 160 watts per 1000 hours. And finally, you get a 3-year general warranty with this monitor. Once again, links and details can be found in the description below. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, make sure to subscribe for other helpful videos, and have a great day.